Terra Luna Classic could be one of those players that in years to come you regret not getting into it. We're going to talk about why I think Terra Luna Classic could just be the best play you make right now. I, for one, am in on Terra Luna Classic. I'm excited when it's coming, but let's get into this video. So Terra Luna Classic took back that zero. We're at 3 zeros, 1047, up 7.5% on the day. Volume up over 200%. Things are starting to move for Terra Classic. Now, we think about the history of this. We saw a very strong project. We saw, Duquan heading up this project, and then we saw a 99.999% complete crash, partly due to manipulation of the algorithmic stablecoin that was held on UST, equally partly to just bad mismanagement of this blockchain, and maybe when they should have made the action, it didn't quite work out. But that doesn't mean there isn't longevity, and there equally isn't potential in this. Think about it. When we saw this big crash, we were about 6 or 7 zeros, and we have slowly started to work our way down. And Terra Luna Classic right now, like I said at the start of the video, could be one of those players where in a few years time people just think, I wish I'd have bought in there. For me, my strategy, I bought in. I do buy more as well. I'm accumulating as and when this drops down, because I do think long term this could be an insane play. Now, what have we got coming? Well, we saw this from the Luna Classic team. It says Terra Classic will be the first cryptocurrency to have its API exposed to Google Carbon, the successor to C++. This will be started ideally in September, but will depend on the speed of progress from the Carbon language development team. That's pretty big. The first crypto to have its API exposed to Google Carbon. Pretty crazy stuff. Carbon does not support asynchronous functions, which limits our development. As soon as asynchronous calls are implemented, development will begin on the Carbon port of Terra. So that is pretty big news if you ask me. We also talk about Hexagon Chain. The layer 2 interrupt service will be running its first ever test transaction within the next 2 days. And then we've got the member of the Terra Rebels development team and have an active project that is approved for development support under the Classic Code of Conduct. So pretty big news. Also talks a little bit about what else we're getting and the migration that we saw 33 projects moving over on to Terra Classic. So again, why am I super excited about it? We have continuous development. I bring you back to the point, this is a self-regulated, self-organized community team that are invested in this project. And this is all about getting this going. The holders that were in before, making sure that they can have some project. But equally, there is an unbelievable community sentiment around Luna Classic. People that were in before the crash, people that got in after the crash. And like I said in my video yesterday, tons of people want to see this succeed. The actual blockchain, what the Terra Rebels have done, is nothing short of amazing. And I genuinely think it could be one of those projects that, like I said, just creeps in day out, bringing utility, and all of a sudden people will suddenly wake up, FOMO buy in, and realize they've missed the opportunity of Terra Luna Classic. Now, again, love it or hate it, it's not affiliated with the Terra Classic project, but Lunatic's token, as an example, burning more tokens, 9 million burned, with some huge rewards coming through, and this is picking up some real traction and some real volume. So that, again, the sentiment around it is supporting the deflationary nature of Luna Classic. You can see this project list continues to grow with more and more people on. But when we take a look at the burns, which I always think it's worthwhile doing on all of my update videos, we can see we've had some pretty solid burns. So we've got 110,000 from Happy Cappy Crypto from his YouTube channel, 308,000 from Coin In, which does look like that's starting to increase in volume. We've got 4.6 million from SaveTheMoon.io, secured burn of 2%, and then a couple of 200,000 from Binance users, equally 4 million from the Luna DAO project. So just more and more coming online in terms of burn, and this is all before we see that 1.2% burn tax. Now imagine when that's implemented. I think I did it on my video yesterday, 1.2% based upon a 400 billion volume daily suddenly starts to give us nearly 1 trillion tokens over the course of the year. That's when you start getting into the world that says, okay, this could be an absolutely insane play for Luna Classic. Remember, nothing is financial advice. Cryptocurrency is extremely volatile, particularly when you are looking at something like Luna Classic, but you think about where it's come from and you think about where it's going to go, and you decide whether that portfolio is something you want to have Luna Classic in. For me, like I said, I'm in, I've bought more, and I will continue to buy more as these dips come, because I genuinely believe we're going to see some insane moves on Luna Classic. So if that's something you like the sound of, and equally you're invested in Luna Classic, do me a favor, hit that like button. Also think about subscribing to the channel where we talk about Luna Classic every day and bring you all the updates you need. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.